going into the playoffs, which is true as the phone unprofessional as the phone falls. I guess I can't hit the table anymore. We're having some difficulty. We're gonna work with this. Hey, welcome everybody to this pilot episode. That's right, episode 0 of the UnProfessionals. And you might be saying to yourself, man, what's an unprofessional? Well, that's exactly what it sounds like. We're a couple of armchair executive wannabe GMs, right. what if fantasy owners. Like, we do stuff like that. That's us. We're unprofessional. And just in case for those who don't know me, I go by Slim, aka Cliff Jefferson, right here, San Antonio native.
And I'm Jay Caesar, a.k.a. Jarvis Clark. Now, just in case you are still yet wondering what an unprofessional is, what this means is we don't care who sees this in the professional ranks and wants to talk about how we can't play better than them. That's a given. We also don't want you in the comments talking about, well, you ain't better than that dude. When I say dude's trash because that's my opinion. Obviously, he's in the NBA, NFL, whatever sport we're talking about. They're critically acclaimed athletes. We get it. But what we want to be able to say is, these are just our opinions. So whatever says goes.
Yeah, whatever says goes. I mean, I don't want you to think that we're just up here blowing smoke. I mean, we do our research. I mean, I was a high school football athlete. I didn't make All-State or anything like that, but I've been around sports. I've covered some NBA finals before with the press. I've had the privilege to do that. I was on TV. I got that shout out. A lot of people was calling me at the job. Hey, we saw you on TV, everything. I even took Jarvis to a a boxing match one time. So we have a little, it might be modest, but hey, we're not just coming out of left field, blowing smoke, talking out the side of our neck, even though, like he said, some of our opinions are going to be strong. But hey, we're just a couple of regular guys. Go to work every day, go to the barbershop every once in a while, talk a little junk with the family, get a couple in you something. Well, you get the point.
We're also on social media, going back and forth with some people that we know, because again, it's all in good fun, and we always like to hear the opinions. So, let's get into it.
Episode 0, let's go.
So earlier we were having this conversation about MVP for the National Basketball Association. Now, before you get all crazy, yes, we all know who the quote unquote runners are, the front runners, the people who should be MVP, blah 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 blah. Now, we talked about this issue with what exactly is an MVP and how are we defining it?
Just like most people, they go to stats.
True.
Look at the stat line. Look what this person averaged during the season, because when you get the average, that's what they did per game.
Right.
And we had a monster this season come through when you're talking about the averages, and we're talking about one Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, Mr. Triple-Double.
Mr. Triple-Double. Second time in NBA history ever behind Oscar Robertson.
Who didn't win MVP, mind you.
Yeah, he didn't win MVP one of those seasons that he did that. But hey, it happens that way. But also with Russell Westbrook, he set the number of triple-doubles in the season as well. I mean, nothing to shake a stick at, but there are a couple of people out there that's still talking about the beard.
True. Now, I mean, James Harden. Now, I don't know if you were anything like me. I didn't expect the Rockets to do anything. I knew James Harden was going to be a beast. I knew offensively he was going to be a monster. Right. From a fantasy perspective, I definitely wanted to make sure that I had him on my team.
Right.
In a Mike D'Antoni offense, I mean, we've seen Steve Nash win 2 MVPs, so
he's trash.
Like, Harden was going to be Harden was going to definitely be a statistical juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
And he proved that. Averaged in the uppers of 28 points per game, led the league in assists. I mean, his team shot nearly 43s, more than any other team in the season. I mean, they were awesome. And James Harden was awesome in that system.
Now, earlier when we talked about it, you were not necessarily making an argument per se, personally, for James Harden, but no. I mean, he's had a heck of a ball season. I mean, he just has. He's balling. I would have liked to see his team. He made comments about wins, but I would have liked to see his team take down 2 of the more superior teams in the West, being the Golden State Warriors or the Spurs, and they still seated behind them at the 3rd seed going into the playoffs, which is which is true as the phone unprofessional as the phone falls. I guess I can't hit the table anymore. We're having some difficulty, but we gonna work with this. We gonna scrap all. I mean, not scrap all this. We gonna splice all this in here, and we're gonna make this happen as we continue. But anyway, this guy, I think he benefited from being under D'Antoni.
Yeah.
They sacrifice almost all defense. Now, somebody like Clint Capella that gets tough in the paint on defense will hide some of that. And you'll say, oh, well, James Harden ain't as trash on defense as he was last year, which is true. But at the same time, is he that guy that's going to propel them to be title contenders? And specifically this season, was he? And, but you had another guy in mind that should have had heavy contention for the MVP.
Yeah, I actually thought that Kawhi Leonard deserved the nod. I mean, this is a guy who, without Tim Duncan, I didn't expect the Spurs to win 60 games. They did that. At one point during the season, they were the number 1 seed in the West, albeit short-lived. Everybody said, oh, Kawhi's the best two-way player in the game, as if basketball is not played 2 ways, but okay, whatever. I mean, this dude was doing it all. His scoring went up. It's gone up every year that he's been in the league. His efficiency was incredible. Being in San Antonio, and please understand, I'm not a Spurs fan.
Well, I am. Yeah,
I'm not a Spurs fan.
I am a Spurs fan.
But,
San Antonio native, like I said.
But game recognizes game, and Kawhi was absolutely doing it on both sides. And without him, seeing some of those games, they wouldn't have won 60 games. I mean, this guy would come down, make a clutch basket, hit a clutch 3, then come back on defense and make a clutch stop against probably that other team's best perimeter player. He was everywhere. Wasn't getting nothing from LaMarcus Aldridge. Wasn't getting nothing from Tony Parker. And yet you still have a team who was battling for most of the season for that number 1 spot in the West.
Right.
For me, given the circumstances, I think that this guy should have been MVP. That's where my vote would have went.
Now, as a San Antonio Spur fan and homer, I always look at things in a very impartial manner. So I don't automatically lean to Kawhi, but I thought he was a serious candidate as well. I may fall into that contingency of people that look at the averaging the triple-double and setting the triple-double mark as kind of like NBA lore. It's something that just hasn't been done before, and we can't just kind of bat an eye at that. You mentioned Oscar Robertson. That same year he lost MVP. That one year he did average a triple-double. I think like Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 and 20 points and rebounds. Ridiculous.
Right.
But it's just something that doesn't happen every day. And I don't think that we can overlook that. Now, Russ and them, people thought that they were going to struggle to get in the playoffs. They got in at the 6th seed.
That was a shocker to me.
And yes, he took over a lot of the offensive workload because Kevin Durant jumped ship trader over to the Golden State Warriors. I'm just kidding. The man do what he want to do. Get your money, get your rings, do what you want. But I just don't think that we could just look at that and just say, oh, well, somebody else. Now, again, everybody's going to say it's between Harden and Westbrook, but there should be a stronger push for Kawhi because not only does it statistically on a personal level translate into wins for the team, but he also passes the eye test.
Right, and I guess that's my point. Like, I'm not going to take anything away from averaging a triple-double. Right. That was amazing. What Russell Westbrook did this year was absolutely amazing. You make the argument, what else was he going to do? I mean, the guy's always been ferocious. I know that I've gone on record several times saying when it was him and KD, of the two of them, I had always played with Westbrook. I always said, give me Westbrook versus Durant because at least with Westbrook, I know he coming to the gym every single night. Like, I never had an issue with Russell Westbrook. But at the same time, I'm not giving you MVP just because you average a triple-double. I mean, we talked about what Oscar Robertson averaging a triple-double and coming in third behind Wilt Chamberlain, who went 50 and 20, and he came in second behind the guy who won, Bill Russell. Now, if we transpose that to this year, Westbrook averaged a triple-double. Harden leads the league in assists. And they both should lose to Kawhi Leonard, who, like Russell, was doing everything for his team, and the team had a better record. Like, let me say this on a pause. Let me be clear. LeBron James is still the best player in the NBA.
Hands down.
It's not even a question. But since we are talking about a regular season award, I still think that, it should have been Kawhi.
Well, you opened up the conversation, and we talked earlier again about how do we define the award.
Right.
I've heard a couple of arguments out there about we should break the MVP up into like the best season versus the best player.
Yeah.
I think that would split kind of the forefront runners in half, with Westbrook and Harden having amazing seasons, and then you got Kawhi and LeBron as being the best player.
True.
But I think that the people would have to really, as much as I did get a chance to cover the finals, I don't have an MVP vote or anything like that. So I don't know how those committees work. I don't know what they look at. I don't know what they weigh. But it always has seemed that you got both of those type of guys in the same package. So if you had somebody that was statistically dominant in the season, that person also passed the eye test of being the best player in the league that year.
Yeah.
That year. And people will say, well, you can always give it to LeBron for that, but that's more leaning toward the eye test piece. Because if his numbers quite ain't what they were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4, 5 years ago, whatever the case may be, or even if they spike and he does win the scoring title or does this, do that, and third, which way would you lean more? The eye test or the statistics?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a combination. I guess ultimately I lean towards the eye test just because I'm looking at the game from a totality. Now, I didn't think LeBron had the greatest season. I mean, we're talking about a Cleveland team that was pretty high on the hog for most of the year, and then in March, they were terrible. I mean, they're under 500. Boston slipped in there. They were dealing with some injuries. It was like, it's the regular season. It's the East. I mean, but we just saw what happened with the Pacers, and while those games were close, like they wasn't really that close, it's a sweep. You call it what you want to call it, which is why I say LeBron is still the best player in the game. Something about him and being able to go to 7 straight finals or whatever it is, and him always being on the court. If you have LeBron James, you have a chance not just to get into the playoffs, but to win. Russell Westbrook gets OKC into the 4 spot or higher, then I think that it's a lot easier to permanent marker him in as MVP. James Harden, take him out of that free-flowing offensive system that best suits his game. Is he putting up those numbers? Probably not. That's why I say for me, I'm leaning towards statistics because I thought that Kawhi's statistics were definitely up there. But I'm also leaning towards the eye test because, again, this was a team that lost one of the greatest players of all time. And he was able to elevate his game more and establish himself firmly in conversations as they're calling it now, the best two-way player in the game. I just don't think that you take a guy like that and you make him third because there was a triple-double average, a triple-double record broken, and there was a guy who elevated his team basically from nowhere to the 3rd seed in the West. I just don't think that those things are good enough when I look at the totality. That's all.
You make a very compelling argument.
Again, not a Spurs fan.
He's just looking at it at a very totalitarian, impartial look. And I, you know what? That's, before that conversation today, I thought it was a 2-man race, but I had the wrong guy. Instead of the beard on the chin, I should have been looking at the hair on top of the head with the cornrows.
And his cornrows, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't never rock cornrows, but they never look like crisp. Ever. They never look terrible.
It's like in between.
Yeah.
He get them done and he go to sleep.
So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, I really don't know how to shake that out. But
they better figure it out against Memphis out there. Whatever that's going to be. They better figure it out against
Hero ball in San Antonio. Delusional Spur fan. Get in the comments. Tell me how you like that hero ball.
See, I'm not a delusional Spur fan, but we need to get it together. So, so if you casting your vote today?
I'm casting it for Kawhi. Period. Point blank. The end. I'm doing it. I'm not gonna fall in love with the triple double. Shout out to Russ. great season, but I think that Kawhi deserves that award.
And for me right now, call me part of the big mob, meaning fickle fans and everything else and everybody that watching and just whatever. But I'm going to cast my vote for Russell Westbrook. I think the triple-double piece is something that just not necessarily can't be overlooked, but not given to him automatically because of, for me, what does it is that he averaged a triple-double, but everybody expected for that team to be in the dumps, and it wasn't. And the 6th seed ain't the greatest seed, but they made it into the playoffs comfortably.
Yeah, and they held that for a while. I think again, as long as you're making a point for him beyond he averaged a triple-double,
right,
I'm willing to listen to that.
Right.
But you can't just say, oh, he averaged a triple-double and boom, just give it to him. It's like, nah. And we have precedent that doesn't necessarily lead to an MVP award.
Right.
Are there any other guys that we know won't get it but should get a vote or two?
I do know somebody. He's my new favorite player in the league, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. I'm just going to call him by his nickname, and that's the Greek Freak. I didn't get a chance to look it up before we got on for our pilot episode, but I thought his first name was Giannis, but that's not right.
No, I think it's pronounced Giannis. Antetokounmpo, I think is how you pronounce it.
The Greek Freak.
Alphabet.
I mean, this dude here, man, he impressed me so much because, first of all, Milwaukee Bucks in the last few years, you don't expect them to get any playoff wins. Not saying that they were just going to get swept, but they went in there and played really good games. A lot of people don't even realize, and you forget, Jabari Parker's hurt.
Right.
They have a core nucleus of good talent on that team, and that guy has let his athleticism make him the leader of the team.
Right.
And the cool thing about it is he plays with intensity. He has a hot basketball acumen. He knows how to play the game. And that boy's only going to get better. Yeah. And he long, he lanky, and whatever. And he got a shot. Just seems to have a good head on his shoulders. And hopefully they can keep it together. But I know you mentioned that you liked him too, but for another reason.
Yeah, I just like the idea that a guy like that was able to finish in the top 20 of every major statistical category in the NBA. Like, I don't know if that's ever been done before, but for somebody to be in the top 20 in rebounds, blocks, assists, steals, points, I mean, that's crazy.
I want to say I saw something somewhere that said he was the first person to do that, and he was only like the 4th or 5th player to lead his team in all major statistical. I mean, the dude, it's ridiculous. That dude, Milwaukee Bucks, I'm watching all the playoff games from here on out. And I'm watching them all next season because I want to see what they're able to do. I mean, they got some balls. Even the little point guard Brogdon, the rookie dude. I mean, those guys play, man. Those guys play.
Yeah, and I mean, Toronto, heads up, Jabari Parker is available. If he was healthy, like, you're getting swept right now. Like, it's not 2-2. Like, it's 4-0.
All the inconsistent guard play. Yeah.
And shout out to Thon Maker. Jesus Christ. That length with that front court with Parker back, that's going to be a problem in the league next year. Not saying that they're going to overtake anybody this year, but in the next couple of years, yeah, I think that they might be doing something. Anybody else that you think should have garnered some consideration?
I mean, not really off the top of my head. Not off the top. I mean, the only other person we really didn't talk about in the MVP race was Isaiah Thomas. And I mean, fourth quarter scoring, the system. First of all, shout out to the coach. Shout out to the system. And, those dudes, they really got it together. I mean, you talking about like blue collar type cats coming together and really just, I'm not taking anything away from them. It wasn't just Cleveland slipping. Those guys had to win ball games to get the #1 seed. And Isaiah Thomas, I mean, he's a firecracker. I think he's an all-star. I don't think he's a superstar. I would love to. He's always going to be at a disadvantage because of his size, but it doesn't make him incapable.
Yeah, as a 5'9" point guard, the way that he's able to shoot it, but also the way that he's able to finish at the rim is pretty impressive. Condolences to his family with the loss of his sister. Right. You could tell that the team really was kind of shaking up those first 2 games.
Right.
But they've gone down to Chicago. They've won 2. Look out, Chicago. Man, that Rondo injury has really hurt. Like, it shows in the facilitation of the offense.
He's half a head case now. He is. I've always liked this game, but I mean, if you can keep his head straight and he's producing on the court, then somebody like Chicago will miss him.
Yeah.
when he fractures in his forearm, wasn't it? Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think it was a
That's
fractured
terrible.
forearm. But yeah, Isaiah Thomas definitely deserves a vote or two. He had a great season. But yeah, I can't really think of anybody else that would really garner some considerable MVP votes. I think Westbrook, Harden, Kawhi. I mean, of course, LeBron. Throw that out there again. Isaiah,
and
Giannis. But other than that, I mean, you had a lot of good. Oh, Paul George, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully he makes the one of those All NBA teams so he can get paid.
Right, get your money, get the money. Well, he definitely deserves to be on All NBA team.
Yeah. Him and Gordon Hayward. I thought Hayward did good. Hopefully they can get those checks.
Yeah.
If they resign, I'm sure Gordon Hayward will resign.
Gordon Hayward's going to resign. Paul George may be on his wiggity whack team next year, but who knows?
Yeah, which is not necessarily the best thing. I like Paul George, and he got game, but he's definitely not one of those franchise-changing guys. Just gonna say it.
But anything would help the Lakers right now.
Anything would help the Lakers right now.
Anything would help the Lakers. I'm not even a Laker hater. I'm not a fan, but yes, I would never have seen them this bad for so long. Like, I need for them to come on and do something.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Spurs, 99. Like, they were around well before 99. 16 banners. I'm just saying, like, let's not start.
No.
I just want to make sure that's not where we're going with this.
No.
We were doing good talking about
There
MVP.
is no hate in my blood.
We don't need no slander right now.
No slander. I'm saying because of a legacy like 16 banners, you would like to see a franchise like that always do
But
well.
shout out to Magic.
Shout out to Magic.
Getting ready to run the team. Getting ready to do some things in the draft. I expect them to be busy in free agency. I like D'Angelo Russell. I think you might be getting moved, young fella. We'll see.
Check somebody's Snapchat for it. I'm just saying. He's in social media. He's in the social media. If you want to know if he's moved, the first place to check is his Snapchat. I'm just saying. I ain't got nothing to do with that man's
unprofessional.
Unprofessional. But before we get too far off topic, we just want to drop that a little bit on this pilot episode. I want y'all to look more for more content. Definitely once we start kicking off episode 1, hopefully it'll be next week. We'll be dropping this thing, man, and we'll have a little bit more bells and whistles and we get more polished. We'll have all the social media information for you because we want to start a little bit of a movement. We want to hear what you got to say. There's a lot of good opinions out there, a lot of great perspectives.
We love to argue. We love to debate. It's what makes it fun. I mean, sports is a place for you to get away, and who better to do it with the people that you love the most?
Regular dudes from around the corner. You heard it here first. So like I said, this is Slim.
And I'm Caesar.
And we are the UnProfessionals. We're going to holler at you next time.
Peace.